Welcome back, everyone. I am Psycho Emerald. Today I'm back with another Star Wars 3 3/4 inch action figure unboxing and review. Today I have Darth Vader from the Saga Collection. This looks like a really great figure. It's from The Empire Strikes Back. I picked it up at my local vendor marketplace where I kind of pick up figures now and then. You can find good deals. This guy was like 20 bucks. I actually have never heard of this figure before. I don't know how much it goes for like on eBay and stuff, so I don't know if I got a good deal or not. But I spent 20 bucks on it. I think it looks like a really great Darth Vader figure, and Darth Vader being my favorite character from anything ever, just my favorite character of all time. Can never have too many Darth Vader figures, and I thought this one looked really good, so I decided to pick it up. And I do like the Saga Collection packaging. You can see me in the reflection. The reflection is very big because of how big the bubble is on this Saga Collection packaging. Nowadays, they're definitely trying to cut back on the plastic, and they're probably going to be doing plastic-free packaging from now on, which I don't really mind, but there is a certain charm to the absurd amount of plastic that they used to have on the packages like this. But yeah, you can see the figure posed up in there. It looks really good, especially that helmet sculpt. I really like that. Got the Saga Collection logo. It was number 13 in the Saga Collection line. Darth Vader right there, and then a really cool picture of Darth Vader. It includes exclusive hologram figure, which is one of these things back there that I guess they had as a gimmick back when the Saga Collection was being released. Kind of fun, also kind of unnecessary. We got the Star Wars logo up there. Up there we have the Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, which is cool how they labeled each one with the film that it was from. The age warnings, of course, as always. And then back here, Saga Collection again. Cool picture of Vader from Empire Strikes Back. Looks like he's on Hoth right there in Echo Base. Has some, a bio, some little details down there. Kind of fun, I guess, if you want to read those. And then Saga number 13, we got the Imperial insignia right there. Darth Vader, Battle of Hoth. It says, the Dark Lord of the Sith is obsessed with finding the young rebel who destroyed the Death Star. Vader and his master are certain that this boy is the offspring of Anakin Skywalker. Following up on a probe droid lead, Vader quickly identifies the rebel base on Hoth, but arrives too late as the last of the rebels flee Echo Base in the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, so that was kind of a long write-up. Then we've got the image of the figure there. It looks like a digital render, but looks pretty cool. Once again, the gimmicky little hologram figure for the Saga Collection. A bunch of other figures that are in the line. Really cool. Star Wars to Hasbro.com. Hasbro logo, more warnings, things like that. Maybe once we get them out, we can look at that a little better. It is a Hoth backdrop, which I did not notice until now, which is really cool. So let me grab the trusty unboxing knife and let's pop him out of the package. Alright, so here's the trusty unboxing knife. So how I usually open the bubbles is I kind of just make a slit at the top where I can cut it open, and then I'm able to slide the plastic tray from the inside of the package out if I just get enough of a cut around here. Alright, that should be enough. There we go. Yeah, looking really cool. And then the hologram figure kind of fell out. Oh yeah, and they all came with a little display stand too. I forgot about that. So there's the Empire Strikes Back. I only have one other Saga Collection figure, which was the Revenge of the Sith Elite Corps Clone Trooper. And it had, the Revenge of the Sith logo there, and it said Kashyyyk Trooper or whatever. And then here we have Darth Vader himself, which the hologram figure that came with the Kashyyyk Trooper was Count Dooku. And it was kind of like a red hologram, but this is kind of fun. I'll put it over with my Count Dooku I have on this random shelf in my room where I keep this just kind of random Star Wars stuff that doesn't go on my displays. So yeah, that's fun. Always fun. Won't be using this most likely, but I might decide to. We will see. But yeah, it's very cool how they've got the title card for the Empire Strikes Back kind of ingrained in there, the logo. Really, really cool. But other than that, it's just kind of, a standard kind of gray, silver plastic. But it does kind of have like a Star Wars-y industrial look to it. So that's always fun. And then here, we can see the backdrop there. You can actually see that it is Snow Troopers, which is really, really awesome. I didn't realize that when I bought it, but yeah, I really like that. That's really cool. How even when you have them out of the box, this could honestly still make a really great display. So yeah, let me get the figure out though, since he is the main reason we are here. I don't want to ruin the lightsaber, so maybe we can slide that out of his hand. So there we go. Didn't have to bend the lightsaber as we pop the figure out. So let's try to get him out now. Oh, there are plastic ties, and I did not notice that. So the cape is kind of stuck in there, and then we've got plastic ties around the feet. All right, so here's Darth Vader. Finally got him out. His foot's kind of stuck back here still. We should be able to break all that out. And as we're finding out, his helmet can be taken apart. Doesn't look like, unfortunately, you can't take the front of the mask off, which would be the coolest part. But yeah, I didn't realize that at first. But yeah, the top of the helmet can come off, and it is a little loose. But when you do have it on there, it does look good. So hopefully that's not going to be a nuisance. But it is cool that you can kind of see Anakin's scarred head there, and you could see it, all the little electrical components as this attaches. Yeah, I'm really liking the look of this figure so far. So yeah, let me get all the packaging out of the way and we'll take a look at the figure. All right, so there's Darth Vader all out of package, and let's get it right off the bat with the positives. This figure looks incredible. It looks really good. The paint apps are great. The sculpt is absolutely spot on. One of the best looking Darth Vader figures I've ever seen. But once you get beyond that, there's a lot of problems with this guy. So let's check him out. You'll notice he's on the stand, and you'll also notice he's a little lopsided. And that's because he mostly just has swivel joints for articulation. And I will also note, this is really an unnecessary gimmick. Like, having the helmet be removable, that's really... it would be cool if you could actually take the mask off too, but you can't. So really all it is just this falls off all the time whenever you like move the figure at all. So it's super loose, and when you have it on there, the helmet looks fantastic. It looks exactly like you want Darth Vader's helmet to look, but as soon as you just like move the figure, the helmet will fall off because it's just so loose. And there's so much detail under here that it's really a shame, but I do feel like I should maybe glue this down so I don't have to have that issue anymore. But it's just really a shame, because if they had made it kind of like so that it snaps on, or really if they just had made it so that the helmet didn't come off, then that would be really cool. But I don't know. I just feel like that there's a lot better ways they could have done this, or they could have just left it out. But I'm going to take it off for the rest of this because I don't want it to fall off. So you can see how good all the details are, though, like all the little details in there on the control panel, on his belt and his armor. He's even got his little chain going around, which I think looks okay. Yeah, we'll get to the articulation in a bit, but the joints are very awkward, very strange, to where it does make it a little difficult to get him to stand up straight. But hopefully I can figure that out, because I did just get this guy, obviously, so it's not going to be all perfect. But yeah, it's pretty much all swivel joints. You can see here it's kind of scuffed on the shoulder pad, which when I saw it in the box, I thought that was just, you know, like a stylistic choice. I thought it looked actually kind of cool, and I still think it looks kind of cool, but I guess it wasn't actually supposed to be like that, because the other one's not like that. And I thought maybe it was because, you know, Luke hits him in the shoulder, but when I recall, it was actually this shoulder that he got hit in, so he wouldn't have the scuff marks on this one. The cape is kind of see-through, but it's also actually kind of cool just to have a soft cape on a 3 3/4 inch Darth Vader, so that you can do cool stuff with it, move it around. It actually does pretty much stay where you want it to stay. Obviously it's not going to obey your every command. It doesn't have a wire in it or anything, but I think it works pretty well. So I do like the cape. He even has fabric down here, which is cool. Same material. You can see all the sculpt lines in his suit. Just very cool, and of course I'm gonna like it. It's my favorite character of all time, and really when it comes to the looks of this figure, they absolutely did him justice. This is what he looked like in Empire Strikes Back, and I just think it looks great, especially once you have the helmet all put together like that. It just looks like Darth Vader, and it's exactly what I want a Darth Vader figure to look like. But I have issues with it when it comes to the articulation and the constant falling off of this. But before we get to the articulation, let's check out his lightsaber. Okay, so here's Darth Vader's lightsaber, and it looks really good. It's a pretty simple sculpt that they probably have used for lots of 3 3/4 inch Darth Vaders. The blade is a very nice red. It's kind of a dark crimson red. Very cool. Good little paint app details on the hilt. Very cool. Looks very accurate to Darth Vader's lightsaber hilt, and I really like it. So let's try to put it in his hand. Once again, I have removed the top of his helmet while I fiddle with the figure, because I don't want to drop it. I did drop it and lose it a second ago, so I don't want that to happen again. So yeah, it actually fits in his hand pretty nicely. Spoke too soon. So it's a little bit loose in his hand, but I feel like if you find the right spot, it just kind of snaps in, which is cool. So if you could find a good pose for him, like that even just looks pretty cool, especially if you put the helmet on there. And you can move this arm up so it kind of looks like he's holding it with two hands. Yeah. So the articulation isn't terrible for getting like two-handed lightsaber poses and things like that, but it is a little annoying. So annoying in some ways, and helmet falling off again. So let's get on to talking about the articulation. All right, so on to the articulation. It is pretty much all swivel joints except for the knees, which do have an actual hinge there, which actually gives you some good movement, but it's pretty much counteracted by the fact that the hips only do the swivel, which is a little annoying. But really, as long as you can like find a neutral standing position for the legs aren't that big of a deal. But you could maybe do some cool stuff with it, but I'm definitely not going to guarantee it because there is nothing but a front and back swivel at the top of the leg, which is a little annoying. But then the arms, the irritating thing about the arms is not that they're swivel joints. Swivel joints can absolutely work for a lightsaber wielding character. I've seen it before, like on the old Power of the Jedi Darth Vader figure. The swivel joints actually work really well on that one. You can get really good lightsaber poses, and it works really well. But this one, they're like diagonal. If you can see the angle that they're pointing at, you can't really do much. Like I wanted to try to get him into maybe like his iconic like maybe close, something close to like his iconic like fist pose like we saw on the packaging right here, but I couldn't get him to do that. Like that's as close as you're gonna get. So yeah, it doesn't get close enough at all to be able to do that. But yeah, he does have swivel pretty much everywhere. You got the elbows, the wrists, head is also just on a swivel. So yeah, not great articulation, can't get great lightsaber poses, but you can get halfway decent ones. So let me see if I can get a pretty decent Darth Vader lightsaber pose, and I'll give you guys a closer look at Darth Vader. All right, so for my finishing thoughts on this figure, usually I try to give a positive review, but this time, like, there's other figures that I look back on that I gave a positive review to. I don't know if I've ever given a negative review to anything. I may have had more nitpicks for other things than others, but this one is like the first one I'm going to say I might not recommend getting this figure. And I know that's kind of different. I guess anyone who's been watching my channel for any amount of time would be like, oh, he pretty much likes everything. Yeah, I do. And it's because they're toys. I just enjoy buying toys. And I still enjoy this figure, and I'm still happy I bought it. It's just, I might not recommend it because articulation is something that's really important to a lot of people. It's not super important to me. It's more to me about how the figure looks. You might have noticed his foot is kind of floating there. It's because I can't have that foot level to the ground with that one because the articulation isn't that good. And so I know that's something that's going to be important to a lot of people. It's not as important to me, so I will say that I really enjoyed this figure, and if you really are just looking for a really good looking Darth Vader figure, even if it's kind of annoying to fiddle with, but you just want to get it in a good pose and then leave it on your shelf and look at it, then that's mostly where I'm at with this, and I would recommend it to you. But to most people who are fans of action figures and fans, the more modern lines, this figure probably isn't going to be for you. I'd definitely skip it because the articulation is not good, and the helmet is really annoying the way it falls off all the time. I think they definitely could have done a lot better with that. So yeah, unfortunately, just not the most positive review, but still overall, I try to be positive, and I still do really like the way this figure looks, and I'm still happy to put it up on my display. I'm thinking maybe come up with a better pose than what I have here, try to maybe get his other foot level to the ground, and then put it as kind of the centerpiece to my 3 3/4 inch collection, because he is definitively the most important character in Star Wars and my personal favorite of all time, so I'm definitely going to need to have him somewhere in a prominent place in the collection, especially with how good this figure looks. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please leave a like. If you like Star Wars action figure reviews, that's mostly what I do on my channel, as well as Marvel. So if you're into Star Wars, please consider subscribing if you haven't already in order to join the Knights of Mischief. And thank you guys all for subscribing. There's been a lot of new subscribers recently, and I really appreciate it. The support is great. If you guys want to leave a comment, I'd love to, chat with you guys down in the comments. Let me know what you think of this figure, if it's one you're thinking about maybe picking up. I know it's a bit older, but, it's always fun to kind of go back and find old figures that you don't have and see if they might fit somewhere in your collection. And yeah, I'm happy to have this one despite all the issues I have with it. Maybe just because it's new, but I always enjoy getting new things, and I really love the way this figure looks. And like I said, I try to be positive about stuff. So, yeah, hope you guys found this review helpful. Hope you found it enjoyable, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.